Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to do a little bit of naming. So all we're doing here is starting with a skeletal structure. And so just remember, every place when you look at the structure, I'm just going to pick one of them. Every place where you see a junction of two lines, here, 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 and here, and everywhere where the line ends and there's no other atom, those are carbons. So here are all of my carbons inside of my skeletal structure. So the first thing I want to do is I want to look for my longest continuous chain of carbons. And you could start at any end where you don't have another atom. So you could start at this end or you could start at this end, but it's a good starting place. So I'm looking at this and I know that down here, if I start down here, I'm going to get a much longer continuous chain than if I start up here. So that's where I'm going to go ahead and do it. Let's see if I can erase these. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start from the bottom and come up. And everywhere you get to a junction, you have to decide which way you're going to go. And so right here, I have to make a decision. Do I go to the left or do I go to the right? And I want to go to the right because it will give me my longest continuous chain. So that is my longest continuous chain of carbons. Excuse me. So now I have to number those carbons. And so what I want to do is I want to number the carbons so that each of the substituents is going to have the lowest number possible. So I like to kind of look at my substituents first. So I have, first of all, a methyl group here, methyl, and I have a fluoro, F-L-U-O-R-O. Check the spelling on that. Make sure my spelling's correct. U-O-R-O, fluoro, because you don't lose points just because I can't spell. So these are my three substituents. And what I want to do is I want to give my carbons the lowest number possible for those substituents. So would I necessarily start numbering 1, 2? No, I don't want to do that. I want to number starting on this end because this would give my fluoro group a number 1. Whereas if I numbered it in the opposite direction, it would get a number 6. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So I know 7 carbons. So if I can zoom out just a little bit. So 7 carbons in the parent, 7 carbons. What is happening? 7 carbons. Come on. Why? Oh, it's highlighted. Okay, try this again. 7 carbons in the parent, and they're all carbon-carbon single. So I know 7 carbons is hept, and then it ends in A-N-E, okay? And then I know what my substituents are, and I've numbered the carbons, so I know this is going to be a 3-methyl, this is going to be a 1-fluoro, and this is going to be a 4-fluoro, okay? So now all I have to do is take all the pieces and put them together. And so I'm going to start with my halogens, then do my methyl, ethyl, all those alkyl groups. So I have 2 fluoro groups. So I have to kind of put them together, and I have to say 1, 4 dash, and because I have 2 of them, I'm going to say difluoro. And again, check my spelling, difluoro. Then I have to go and catch my methyl. So anywhere we have letters and a number, we put a dash. So that's -3 methyl. And then I just take my parent name, heptane. And that's it. 1,4-difluoro, 3-methyl heptane. And all I did was I followed the rules that were in the lecture notes. So make sure that you follow them step by step, where you find your longest continuous chain. Then you number your chain. You identify your substituents, and then you name your parent. And make sure when you're numbering your longest continuous chain of carbons that you look for the substituents and you give the substituents the lowest number possible. All right, hope that helps.